good start. I got a choppy mid-70s signal, and it looks like a pin of some sort. Don't know what kind yet, but it looks pretty cool to me. And it has some writing on it. Interesting. You get that cleaned up a little bit better and see what we got. I bet a few of you knew what that was before I even got it cleaned. I didn't want to say I saw an eagle, but I thought I did, and it spooked me for a second because I thought I saw a shield in the chest, and that's similar to some Civil War stuff. But be prepared. I got a Boy Scout pin, and that is awesome. Just got a neat old key from the Eagle Lock Company. I remember back when I first started showing signs that I really loved history, my mom found an old trunk, old wooden trunk, like a pirate's chest, somewhere at a thrift shop or something, and the lock on it was Eagle Lock Company. I remember cleaning that lock off to find out who made it and try to date that trunk. Years before I ever picked up a detector. Neat little find. Alright, I'm going to show y'all a couple finds. I didn't film all of them, but it's pretty cool. I'm getting on some fancy old lipstick tubes. They definitely put a lot more work into those things back in the day than they do now, don't they? Not that it's a product I use a whole lot. Anyway, let's see what else I got here. Okay, just pulled that up. I don't know if that's a pocket watch piece or just some sort of specialized washer. And then we got that. And that is a hammer to a toy gun. So getting on some neat old stuff. I'll keep going. Just got a nice little overall button of some sort here. I think it says Union on it, but it's pretty clean. Well, it's hard to beat that. Of course, the back's all shot, but I'll take it. All right, I got something interesting looking. This is the first thing that I found that I can say actually looks like a pendant of some sort. This may be my first religious pendant, which would be something on the bucket list. I've been looking for a crucifix or something like that. Let me clean this up real quick. I'll show you what I got. All right, it is a little religious pendant. Got Mary on the front. And it's on the back. It says Japan. I don't think that it's silver. It might be, but it feels a little bit light to be silver. Pretty cool little find though. Alright, let's see if anybody knows what that is. Seems like that's going to have something on it, don't it? I'm not sure what the deal is with the old iron on here, but I don't know, maybe that's a dog tag or something. Like an actual dog's tag. We'll see. Alright, well, I'm here at home and got this thing cleaned up, and I knew there had to be writing on this thing somewhere. Pretty cool. 1946. You see the name above it, that letterly? My last video, I found that vaccine bottle. I really didn't think that came from the 40s. And maybe it did. Maybe it's afterwards, but same company that supplied the rabies vaccine. Pretty cool, in the same yard. You know, finding that rabies vaccination tag got me wondering, how long has that been around? Well, not too long actually. A guy you probably heard of, Louis Pasteur, invented the vaccine in 1885. But how it came into use was a pretty incredible story. He'd never tested his vaccine on people. Some say he hadn't even thoroughly tested it on animals. In 1885, a boy by the name of Joseph Meister was bitten. Now, a few years earlier in 1877, in the town of London, 29 people died of rabies in the first few weeks of the year. If you got bit by a rabid animal, you were going to die. Knowing this, Pasteur agreed to give his vaccine to this boy, Joseph Meister. And the vaccine worked. I'm going to show you a picture of Louis Pasteur and Joseph Meister together. Now, even though the vaccine worked for Joseph Meister, the other scientists in the community were pretty upset with Pasteur for not thoroughly having tested this vaccine on animals and humans. But you know what? The people didn't care. They were sick of this epidemic, and they would take anything that didn't mean death for them. A mayor of a small town in France sent a letter to Pasteur telling him of a 15-year-old boy who had saved a group of small children from a rabid dog but had been bitten multiple times in the process. It took Pasteur 6 days to make the trip up there, and they weren't sure that the vaccine was going to work after that length of time, but it did. Pasteur's fame spread pretty quickly after that. A group of Russian peasants were attacked by a rabid wolf and barely were able to limp into the nearby town. They only knew one word of French: Pasteur. I'm glad we don't have to deal with that today. Thank you, Louis Pasteur. All right, I think I got an old coin. 50 signal. What do you think? Oh, I was hoping that'd be a V-nickel. Hey, I'm happy with that. Buffalo. Let's see if we can get a date on it. One of these days that'll be a V-nickel for me. But not today. Whoo-wee. That's crusty. I'm gonna have to take that one home and work on it to show you a date, if there's one there at all. Happy with it though. Been a little bit since I dug an old coin. Well, this will be a first too. This gave a real loud signal. I think I got a railroad penny here. Well, let's see if I can clean anything off of that. I think that's what that is though. It's one of the prettiest wheat pennies I've dug in a while. 1944. Man, there's got to be a silver around somewhere. And another old nickel. Could this be the one? Is it going to be a Memorial, or a Jefferson, I mean? It's another Indian. Hot dog. Ooh, good date on that too. Or clear date. 1936 it looks like. Very nice. You know the weird thing about that, 2 buffalo nickels, look at that, maybe 2.5 inches deep. The 44 wheat penny was almost 6. So, a little weird. Glad to have it though. You know what I love about old stuff? They put some time into it. Second old key I found at this house. First one was that Eagle lock key. And they're little pieces of art. Today they just put some stupid name on them. I like it. Atlas key. And another little lipstick tube. That one's pretty small. Alright, I don't have a clue on this. At all. Nothing's on it. But I sure would like to know. If you got any idea at all, leave me a comment. That is a really cool surface find. Check out that old bottle stopper. I don't know if that went to perfume or something, but man, that is ornate. I have to see if I've got an old bottle that'll fit in or something. Cool. Alright, there's another variation on that Carhartt button that I keep finding. And I don't know if you can make it out. That's a train car. It has no writing on this one, so I think I have seen this style before. Pretty cool. Been a little bit since I got a hold of the lock, and this is a cool one. RFD stands for Rural Free Delivery. This would have been used with the mail somehow to either lock up mail bags for the carriers or even boxes. So, pretty cool little find. Probably from the 20s, I would say. Maybe the 30s. And there's another Carhartt button. Very weird that I find all these heart-shaped buttons at this place. And the back's in really good condition too. Oh wow, this is cool. Alright, unless I'm fooled, which I have been before, that's gonna be my first wedding band looking ring. I've got an older ladies ring that had a stone in it that was missing, but I've really been looking for one of these bands, and boy, I think I got one there. Nothing precious, it would have been plated, but you guys know how I love those personal sort of finds, and this has been something that was important to somebody. Very cool. I'll clean it up a little more. I don't think there's going to be anything on it, but love it.